I suspect that we have all had an experience with a coach, a teacher, a manager, most likely a parent, where we have been given instructions and then we have asked a clarifying question, namely, why? And the response we get back is, because I said so. Yeah! I hate that response. I hate that response. I hate how I feel after that response. And even if it is the right next steps or the best course of action or the thing that's going to lead to the best results, I still don't want to do it. And here's the problem, folks. We do this to each other at work all the time. It's a different story when it's a parent telling a child to do their chores because they said so. But that same feeling, that resistance, that pushback, the fact that you are not bought in, it happens at work all the time when we leave out key details and information when we think we are communicating. It happens when we say things like, give me a call when you get a chance, or stop by my office before you leave. Now, I don't care what follows either of those statements. I don't care if you give me a raise when I stop by your office. You know what I'm going to be prior to coming by your office? Really anxious, irritated, upset, maybe pissed off. There's any sorts of emotions that are going to get in the way of actually communicating. Now, for years, I have taught the concept of E.T.A., which normally would stand for estimated time of arrival. But I want you to flip this around. It actually, in my world, stands for expectation, timeline, and action item. And it is how I ask for an interview when I am inside a locker room or clubhouse. I want to make sure my athlete knows exactly what we're going to talk about. That's the expectation. The timeline, as in how long this interview is going to take and when it is going to take place, and the action item. Who is responsible for finding whom and where that is going to be. I have always taught that with the idea of making sure that we were on the same page. Here's another way to think of that. I was listening to a press conference from an NFL coach a couple of weeks ago, and his comment was this: all I wanted was for one of my coaches to give me the instructions and to give me kind of the optimum outcome, and then let me figure out how to get from point A to point B and figure out what was going to work best for me. It's another way to think of E.T.A. And if you were thinking about elevating the team around you, the more information you give them, the easier it is for them to figure out how to get the optimal results. So this is your reminder. Maybe it's when you're watching sports. Maybe it's when you feel that moment when somebody doesn't give you all the information you know they could be giving you. Remember to include E.T.A. in all of your interactions. One-on-one interactions, email, and text messages. Take the angst out of it. Create buy-in just by providing some additional information. Oh, and if you'd like additional information on how to communicate more effectively, make sure you go to the website, talksportytome.com.